Sorare is a fantasy football game in which you can play and earn. With player cards available from around 245 clubs, you can bid and purchase the digital cards from the auction. You can then use those cards in different leagues and can even sell them for profit. Click on the link below, sign up, get common cards as a bonus, and if you decide to purchase limited cards, you'll get a free 6 limited card on 5 purchases. Check it out now. Hello and welcome back to the channel everyone. Hope you all are well and you're having a nice game week 15. So in this one I'll run you through my team selection for game week 16. Of course that would be the last game week before the World Cup starts. I would be covering the World Cup fantasy, so please do subscribe to the channel and brace yourself for the World Cup fantasy content. Once it starts, I'll be sending out all those World Cup fantasy videos on the channel. So in this one I'll run you through my team selection. You can see the defenders and the goalkeeper already on screen, and that is from where I'll start. So yeah, starting from the goalkeeper, Guetta starts in goal. And the thing with Crystal Palace is that in one game week they are absolutely brilliant, and the other game week they are not so brilliant, and that is definitely the case with Guetta too. Now Nottingham Forest on paper is definitely a good fixture, but sometimes Nottingham Forest are a very unpredictable side, and sometimes they might score goals and sometimes they struggle to do that. But I do expect Guetta to return me a clean sheet in this one, because the probability of that is high. But as Nottingham Forest plays on counters, that would be pretty hard to hold on to for the Crystal Palace side, as sometimes they struggle with that. And Guetta is definitely a busy keeper at the back, and I do expect some points in this fixture as he might be busy and making all those saves. So that would be a delightful return for me. A 4 or a 6 pointer would do. So now we move on to the three defenders. As you can see, Dalot starts in defense as Cancelo is red carded. He'll be on the bench. So yeah, he faces Fulham this week, and Fulham on paper again a good fixture, but we all know Fulham is not an easy side, and they have been scoring goals in no matter who the opponent is. They find a way to score a goal, and that is a big advantage for Fulham. So Man United obviously a defensively tough side against weaker opponents, but Fulham is not a weak opponent. But I do not have I've got Guehi, another defender, and I wouldn't want a double up of Crystal Palace looking at their current form. So yeah, Dalot plays. Of course he's got a tendency to provide me attacking returns, and if he does that, that would be a bonus. But a clean sheet, if that comes in, which is highly unlikely, would definitely be a bonus. Now we move on to Trippier. We're talking about Trippier. He has been an absolute brilliant transfer and an absolute brilliant asset. Mostly a lot of people own him. A lot of managers already own him, and he has been consistent with his clean sheets. He has been consistent with his attacking returns, and he faces a defensively weaker Chelsea, who are obviously an attackingly weak side too. Now their defense looks dead, their attack looks dead, their midfield is they're not syncing up pretty well, and that could be a good fixture for Newcastle and a good points returning game. Then we move on to Ben White, and I've taken out Koulibaly from my side to bring in Ben White. Koulibaly has been an absolute shite transfer from the moment I've brought him in. Either he doesn't play, or whenever he's playing, he ends up losing the clean sheet, and that has been the case for me so far this season with Koulibaly. I've taken him out and I've brought in Ben White to cover those Arsenal clean sheets. He faces Wolves at away, and looking at Arsenal's form, this is a good fixture for them. Now we move on to the midfield. I've got these four midfielders, starting with Zaha. Like I talked about Guetta, similar is the case with Zaha. On his day, he's absolutely brilliant, and when it isn't his day, he like Crystal Palace will score 4 goals, but he wouldn't be involved in any. That is again the case, here with Zaha too. So yeah, Nottingham Forest, a good fixture for attacking from attacking point of view, as they are not a defensively balanced side and not a defensively strong side. So I do expect Zaha to return me points in this one. Then we move on to Martinelli, who is a no-brainer. I would advise you to hold on to him, as he he's pretty cheap. He's on set pieces, and that is what puts him at an advantage, and he has been providing attacking returns too, and he's pretty nailed on. Now we move on to Almiron, the King Almiron, who has been an absolutely brilliant transfer for me this season. The moment I brought him in, and till date, he has been providing me attacking returns. Only one time I benched him, and that was the time I do regret. So yeah, I would play him in every fixture and utilize his current form. Obviously Chelsea, we all saw how vulnerable they looked versus Arsenal. Arsenal had problems in finishing in, but I do not think that Newcastle would suffer that, as they look like a very good side, a top 4 side. this season, and Almiron stays in against Chelsea. Now we've got the fourth midfielder, and that is Mo Salah. And with Salah, we all know that he on his day is absolutely brilliant. Now this season particularly, he has not been in form, and that is what has put him on a disadvantage, as a lot of people used to recommend him, and he was a must-own asset last season. But this season, due to his bad form, some of the managers do own him and some of them don't. So yeah, Southampton at home is a good fixture, and we'll see how they play against Spurs today, and then we'll know how Salah would look like versus Southampton. But I would advise you to hold on to him in this fixture. If you're looking for a punt, obviously KDB is there, but I would recommend holding on to Salah for this fixture. Now we look at the forwards, the three forwards. Of course, I'll start with Mitrovic. Mitrovic always finds a way to shoot onto the goal and score. Last game week, he was just unlucky to be out. Not last game week, this particular game week, like the game week 15 from the time I'm making the video. He was unlucky to miss this fixture as they got a penalty, and I'm pretty sure he would have netted that in. So yeah, Mitrovic faces Man United at home. Obviously, Fulham on paper looks a weak side, but they are not. I'm mentioning that again, and I do expect them to score. Now, Mitrovic has an ankle injury, and he's 75% chances. He's on 75% on 75% health that is visible on the FPL website. There are chances that he might play. We'll see. Then we'll look at the news throughout the week, and if he plays, I would definitely play him. But if he's out, I'll look at someone else to take out from my side. I would just bench Mitrovic. I wouldn't take him out. That I brought him in for a cheaper price. I don't think there are other options in the forward. So yeah, I'd just bench him and look at someone to upgrade from a midfield, probably Andreas if I want to, or someone or probably Guehi in defense. Now we move on to Haaland. He's back, and what a way to come back. Like the penalty, he netted that in. He netted the penalty in for that second goal, and that was absolutely brilliant by Haaland. He's a top-notch poacher, and that is what puts him at an advantage. Like with the likes of we've seen the likes of Jamie Vardy and all the others, and Aguero in the Premier League, and he's kind of a similar player, and he has been on a scoring rhythm and looks like he won't stop until the season ends. So yeah, he would hold the armband against the likes of Brentford, who are not a tough defensive side. Now we move on to Nunez. Nunez was my transfer. The FPL website crashed, and he was my emergency transfer. I had absolutely zero. I didn't plan exactly. The basic plan was Wilson, but there was news that Wilson had COVID and he was out. So yeah, I was in panic. I was trying to make the transfer, and the FPL website crashed 20 to 22 minutes earlier, and I was out of I had no clue, and I just took out Firmino, who has been absolutely pathetic so far. He has been starting every game, but zero attacking returns from him. So I went on with Nunez. Nunez has the armband this week from my side, and we'll see at 9:30 how it goes. But Nunez is one of those transfers who is just a hit or miss thing. He's obviously a mid-ranger, and I do hope that Nunez would for this short-term punt, he would recover me those points and give me a huge rank boost before we sign off. So yeah, this would be my side. I'm currently on 853 points. The points aren't totally updated yet, and the rank isn't updated yet. I've got 2.4 million in the bank, and definitely this is I'm 80% locked in with this side with Ben White coming in. I'll let you know any changes if there are any on my Twitter handle, and on the YouTube too. I'll post my final team here. So yeah, please do subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for the World Cup fantasy content. Currently this is it from my side. Thank you all for watching.